There is something about that I'm starting to realize a lot of students don't quite grasp, that if you just grasped it, if you just understood it, it would shift your ability to not only get into PT school, but crush every single milestone that you have from now up until when you're a physical therapist and beyond. Turning dreams into reality. Hey, what is up? If you're a pre-PT and you want to learn the fastest way to get accepted into physical therapy school without the fear of rejection, this training is for you. So listen up. But first, my name is Joseph Ngugi. I am a physical therapist. I am also a PT school acceptance coach and one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where for years we've been serving students just like you and helping them get into physical therapy school. So if this is a career that you're interested in, or a career that you're like, I just want to learn more about, or I'm really locked in and I just want to figure out how to get into a PT program because I know that's my next step, but it's overwhelming. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to become a strong applicant. I don't know how to get accepted because I know it's competitive. You're in the right place. We got you. We got you covered. We've been doing this for a long time. And in the same way we've helped other students, we're going to serve you and help you as well. So all that we ask is that as you're listening to everything that we share on videos like this, is that you take massive action afterwards. And then also, if you enjoy it, like, subscribe, binge on all of the free value that we have here for you as we get you started on your journey to helping you get closer and closer to your dream of becoming a physical therapist. Now, in this particular training, this is going to be a really special and important training in particular because over the years, I'll preface it with this. Whether you followed us for a day or if you followed us for years, you know that, or maybe you'll learn that we have this message that says that anyone can get into physical therapy school. And we genuinely believe it, not just because it's something we believe abstractly, but it's because we've seen it over and over again. We've had students with super low GPAs, lots of like all the stuff that you hear about, you're like, oh my gosh, these are like impossible scenarios. But there is something about that I'm starting to realize a lot of students don't quite grasp. That if you just grasped it, if you just understood it, it would shift your ability to not only get into PT school, but crush every single milestone that you have from now up until when you're a physical therapist and beyond. And I have titled it How to Get into PT. I've titled it The Fastest Way to Get into Physical Therapy School because in all actuality, it is. Like, if you do what I'm about to tell you, it'll get you there the fastest. Will it be easy? No, but nothing worthwhile is easy. But this is what most students miss, especially when they hear some of these stories. And I'll kind of break down what I mean here in just a second. But if you take massive action on what I'm about to share with you, you will freaking kill it. So let's dive in. So here's one thing I want to say before I share the fastest way. And the fastest way is going to be 3 points. It's going to be 3 points that I'll share with you here in a few moments. But the first thing I want to say, and this is super important, is don't confuse inspiration, and by inspiration I'm referring to stories that you might hear of people that got in after having major struggles, or maybe after having the same challenges you're currently facing, which I think is great. Like, inspiration is important because if you don't have inspiration, you just feel like it's impossible. So inspiration is checkpoint one, but please don't confuse inspiration with actually understanding the roadmap to you making your dream come true. And right now, your dream is becoming a physical therapist. So here's what I mean by that. So one question that we get a lot, and this is usually when we share stories of students that we've had who have had 2.4 GPAs but got into PT school, who had been rejected 4 years in a row and then switched something up and got into PT school. One of the biggest things that I've noticed is when students see those stories, they're like, well, I don't know if that's possible, but when they see them over and over again, they're like, well, okay, so they got in with a 2.4. Okay, well, that's around where I'm at. Should I just apply? They had a 2.4. Can I just apply because I have a 2.4? And they don't realize that there's certain things that those students had to do in order to become a strong applicant despite where they started. And that's the part that I want us to talk about, because I don't want you guys to hear stories and just be like, oh, I'm going to use this story as an excuse for me just kind of staying put with where I'm at. Because the reality is, as a pre-PT, there's always, at all times, there are things that you have control over and there's things that you don't have control over. You can't go back in time. That's not something that you can control, but you can increase certain grades. You can learn certain strategies to get better scores on the GRE. And we can go down the whole rabbit hole. But my point is, I want you to start emulating the people that inspire you. Emulate them. emulate them. And emulating them doesn't mean, well, they got in with this, I'm just going to do the same. Like, emulate them. Understand that there's certain things they did to get to that point. And if you can do those things, you will give yourself a much better chance of getting in, as opposed to just saying, well, they pulled it off, let me just kind of wing it and hope for the best. And so that's what I'm going to share with you. And if you can do these 3 things, this is the fastest way to get accepted, to really achieve any major milestone that you have in your life. And so I'm going to say it to you, and then I have a call to action for you at the end. So number 1 is going to be ask for help. That's number 1. I'm telling you right now, ask for help. Number 2 is filter the noise. And I'm about to say that in just a second and break it down. And then number 3, take action fast. So these are the 3 things that every student that inspires you, every person that's achieved something significant, most of them followed these 3 things. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I'm inspired by them, but I'm not willing to do these 3 things, then what you're saying is, I'm just willing to kind of bet on where I'm already at. And if the things I'm doing are not working, I'm just going to keep hoping that someday they'll work. And that's usually the fastest path to you essentially quitting, because you'll at some point think it's impossible and doubt yourself and whatnot. So these 3 things are critical. So ask for help, filter the noise, take action fast. Like, even now in our where we are in our career, we still do the same things with the new milestones that we have as business owners and physical therapists and whatnot. So let's talk about the first one, ask for help. So first thing I want you to ask yourself is, with the things that you're currently struggling with, like, are you actually okay with asking for help, especially from people that actually understand how to help you solve it? Now, if you're asking for help from family members or people that you know that don't actually understand what you're going through, then is that even the right person? Or is that the person that's going to basically add to the doubt that you have? And so if you want to get into PT school quickly, you got to get comfortable with asking for help. And figuring out, like, who can I ask? What, first of all, what am I struggling with? Being very aware of what you're struggling with, and then asking yourself, like, who can I ask to help me? Because what I'm doing is, when I ask for help, I'm creating a shortcut. I am taking the struggles and the experiences of somebody else or other people, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I do that in a much shorter period of time? So if someone had to apply 2 or 3 years in a row to figure something out with the same stats I have, okay, what did they figure out? And can I learn from them? Can I ask for help now? And sometimes that actually means paying for help. So can I pay them to actually teach me that? Because if I can do that, then it'll actually speed it up for me. And a lot of the people that inspire you, that's what they had to do. So that's number 1, ask for help. Number 2, filter the noise. How many times do we doubt ourselves because the people that we listen to constantly are adding more doubt than anything else? And it's mainly because they've just never been on the path that we're on. It's because some of them maybe gave up on the dreams they once had. And so they're taking their fears and they're basically passing them on to you. And that can hold you back, right? So, but are you learning how to filter the noise, right? And then number 3 is take action fast. When you learn something, so for example, if you watch a video like this one, are you just going to listen to it and say, well, okay, that's nice, I'll watch another one. And or are you going to say, well, I'm going to go and take action. I'm going to go figure out who I need to ask for help from. I'm going to go figure out how to filter the noise and how to change what I'm letting go in my mind every single day, because you already have doubts. Like, I mean, we talk to ourselves every single day, and we all we are our own biggest critic and all that stuff. So when someone else adds things that add to the doubt, it kind of leads some of us to spiral a little bit, right? So I'm going to actually take massive action and go and filter the noise. And the people that take action fast, number 1, they're not procrastinating or waiting for something to happen. But number 2, they always feel like they're in more control overall. And that's the part too, is as pre-PTs, I don't think we realize, or I don't think you realize, that you have a lot more control over the outcome of what you want to happen than you realize. Right. And so if we want to be like the students that have gotten in with the struggles that we currently face, we have to act like them. And acting like them means saying, what are the activities that you did differently that allowed you to basically get in after having X GPA, X GRE score, all that stuff? Because I'll tell you this right now, they did not just sit around, hope for the best, and give it their best shot and try again. They said, I'm going to like I have to play this game differently, because here's why it's so important too to understand, is because you're not the first person. Like, whether you feel like, and some of us feel alone right now, like in our own journeys, but you're not the first person to go through the struggles that you're currently experiencing. And because you're not the first person, it also means you're not the last, right? And so why not leverage other people that have been in the exact position I'm in? So that's it. If you can do that, I'm telling you right now, it sounds so simple, but so many of us hear something like this and it goes over our head. If this went over your head, I'm sorry. But for the people that were like, I hear it, I receive it, and I know what my next steps need to be, you're going to be the one that will absolutely freaking kill it every single time. There is nothing that will hold you back. There's the period, right? And there's a statement that we also say a lot, and we've just seen this over time and time again, right? Is, well, two statements. Number one, the only reason why your dream of becoming a physical therapist will die or could die is if you quit or pull the plug. So that's the first one. The second one is, anyone can get into physical therapy school, or anyone can become a physical therapist, but not everyone will. Please hear what I'm saying. Anyone can get into physical therapy school. Anyone can become a physical therapist, but not everyone will. And the reason is because not everyone will be willing to do the things that will actually give them a great shot. Most people are just like, well, let me try my best. Let me kind of wing it. Let me do what I know to do. And if you only do the things that you know to do, there's so many blind spots and so many other things that you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to leverage. So that's what this training was about. I hope this helped. For those of you that actually received what I said and caught it, I'm happy for you. For those of you that didn't, maybe you just need to listen to this again, but this is it. This is it. Like, every significant story you've ever heard us share, and if you're new, every significant story that you will hear or share, because we share some crazy stories of some pretty crazy scenarios with students that got into PT school after situations that most people told them were impossible. And what they did differently was exactly what I just told you. So if you take that, I'm happy for you. If you don't, try to tell you, I don't know. And if after listening to this, you're like, okay, what's my next step? How do I start doing these things? Then what I want you to do is go on your computer, on your phone, go to www.acceptancepacktrial.com. www.acceptancepacktrial.com. We're actually going to give you, just for listening to this training, we're going to give you 7 days free access to our Pre-PT Grind Network community, where we teach you a lot of this stuff and more. And you actually get a call with one of our team members just for doing that. So go to acceptancepacktrial.com and then share this video out. Share this training out with your friends, your pre-PT buddies, people that you know and feel would actually value this. And then let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to us on any of our social media platforms, especially Instagram for sure, or TikTok, and we will reach out to you. But keep crushing it. We look forward to seeing you on the next training. Bye.